Prabhu will be chanting all the verses. First, let me chant all the verses, then yourself and Narayan will do. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udarapastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhiraha sarvamapi mam prithvim sashishyat atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyam cha shadvir bhaktir vinashyati saha nishchaya dhairyat karma pravartanat संगत्यागा सतो वृत्ते है षड्भिर भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति ददाति प्रतिगुणहाति गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजते चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम् कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा प्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतभिश्च भजन्तमीशं शुश्रूषया भजन विज्ञमनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्यर्दमीप्सितसङ्गलब्ध्या दृष्टैः स्वभावजनितैर्वपुश्च दोषै न प्राकृतत्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्येर्गङ्गाम्भसां न खलु बुद्बुदफेन पङ्खैः ब्रह्मद्रवत्वमपगच्छति निरधर्मैः स्यात् कृष्णनामचरितादिसिताप्यविद्या पित्तोपतप्तरसनस्तनरोचिका किन्त्वाधरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्ट्वा स्वाद्विक्रमाद् भवति तद्गदमूलहन्त्री तन्नामरूपचरितादिषु कीर्तनानुस्मृत्यो क्रमेण रसना मनसि नियोज्य तिष्ठन् व्रजेत तनुरागि जनानुगामी कालं नयेत किलमित्तप्रदेशसारम् वैकुण्ठाजनितो वरा मधुपुरी तत्रार्पिरासु स्वात् वृन्दारण्यमुदारपाणिरमना तत्रापि गोवर्धनः राधाकुण्डमिहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृतप्लावनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिनकः कृष्णप्रिया चैंट ऑल.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. वाचो वेगं मनसः क्रोध वेगं जिह्वा वेगमुदरोपस्थ वेगं एतान् वेगान् यो विषहेत धीरः सर्वामपि मां पृथिवीं सशिष्यात् अत्याहारः प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः जनस्सङ्गस्वलोल्यश्च षड्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति. उत्साहः निःश्रयद्वैर्यात् तत्कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संघश्चागास्ततो वृत्तेः षड्भिर्भक्तिर्प्रसिष्यति. षड्भिर्भक्तिर्प्रसिद्ध्यति. दधाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसान्द्रियेता दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिक्स्व भजन्ति मीशम्. प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्ति मीशं शुश्रूषया भजन विघ्नमनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्य हृदमीप्सित संज्ञलब्ध्या. दृष्टे स्वभावजनितैर्वपुष्टैर्दोषैर्वा दृष्टेर्स्वभावजनितैर्वपुषस्वदोषे न प्राकृतित्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गङ्गाम्भसां न खलु बुद्बुदफेन पङ्क्ते ब्रह्मद्रवत्वमपगच्छति नीरधर्मै. स्यात्वा कृष्णनामाचरित दिशाप्त विद्या पित्तोपतत्परसनस्य न रोचकीना किन्ताद्वन रोचिकानो किन्त्वादरादनुदिनं खलु चैव जुष्टा स्वाद्विक्रमाद्भवति ददग्धमूलहन्त्री. In this verse I was absent, that's the reason. तन्नामरूपचरितादिसुकीर्तनानो स्मृत्यो क्रमेण रसना मनसि नियोज्य तिष्ठान् व्रजेदनुरा गिरिजानुगामी कालम्
व्रजेतदनुरागी जनानुगामी
तिष्ठन् व्रजेदनुरा गिरिजनानुगामी
तदनुरागी जनानुगामी
तिष्ठन् व्रजेतदनुरागी जनानुगामी कालं नियेदखिलमीप्सुतपदेश्य
कालं नयेदखिलमित्युपदेशसारमित्युपदेशसारम्
कालं नियेदखिलमीप्सुतपदेशसारम् मित्युपदेशसारम्. 9th verse.
वैकुण्ठाजनितो
किर्मभ्याः परितो हरे प्रियता व्यक्ति. Mataji, this I am not able to read.
Okay.
One, I'm sorry, Mataji. This I practiced. I'm sorry, I'm reading 10th one. Vaikunta Janito. No. I missed 9th one. Vaikunta Janito Varama Madhupuri Tatra Ratsotsavad Vrundaranya रासोत्सवाद वैकुंठ जनितो वर मधुपुरी वैकुंठ जनितो वर मधुपुरी तत्रापि रासोत्सवाद वृंदारण्य मुदारपाणिरमणात् तत्रापि गोवर्धनः राधाकुंड मिहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृतप्लावनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजितो गिरितटे सेवं विवेकी नखः.
Okay. Narayana chant. You should practice more.
Yes, Mataji.
Narayana, where are you?
Amma, he's still in office finishing his some work.
You chant.
Full?
Full.
वाचो वेगं मनस क्रोध वेगं जीवा वेगमुदरुपस्थवेगम् एतान् वेगान् यो विषहेत धीरः सर्वामपि मां पृथिवीं च शिष्यात् पृथिवीं स शिष्यात् अत्याहारः प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रह जनसङ्गश्च लौल्यं च षड्भिर्भक्ति विनश्यति उत्साहान्निश्चयाधैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागः सतो वृत्तेः षड्भिर्भक्तिः प्रसिद्ध्यति ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयति चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम् कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजन विज्ञमनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्यहिदमीप्सितसङ्गलब्ध्या दृष्टैः स्वभावजनितवपुश्च दोषैः स्वभावजनितवपुषश्च दोषैः नाप्राकृतत्वमिहं भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गङ्गां न खलु बुद्बुदफेन पङ्कैः ब्रह्मध्रुवत्वमपगच्छति नीरधर्मैः यात् कृष्णनाम चरितादिसितापविद्या चित्तोपतप्तरसनस्य न रोचिकानु किन्त्वादरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वातिक्रमाद् भवति तद्गतमूलहन्त्री तन्नामरूपचरितादिसुकीर्तनानु मृत्युः क्रमेण रसना मनसि नियोज्य तिष्ठन् व्रजेत तनुरागजनानुगामी कालं नयेदखिलमित्युपदेशसारम् वैकुण्ठाजनितवरा मधुपुरी तत्रापि रासोत्सवात् वृन्दारण्यमुदारपाणिर्मना तत्रापि गोवर्धनः राधाकुण्डम् इहापि गोकुलपतिः प्रेमामृतप्लावनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजतु गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिना कः.
Very good. No mistakes at all. So
I
do one
practice
thing.
every
Do the
morning.
voice. Ah?
I practice every morning after waking up.
Very good. Everybody should practice like this. 11 verses somehow do contesta. That is the perfection of your life.
But most of the tune came from kitchen. When you chant, then I listen from the background.
Keep it a system when you're when you're cooking, when you're doing work. Just chant these verses.
The tone is very catchy. Nain Manjari is also listening and she keeps repeating all day.
Okay. So now today we'll be doing the 10th verse. Karmebhya parito hare priyataya vyaktiyayorganina tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premaikanisthastata tebhyasta पशुपाल पंकज दृश्यस्ताभ्योऽपि साराधिका प्रेष्ठा तदीयं तदीय सरसी तं नाशयेत् ककृतिः. long verses. Rupa Goswami. We are going to go to Kadam. Now we are going to go day after tomorrow to Vrindavan. The next day is Purnima. It is said people flock to Govardhan on the day of Purnima. It is Krishna's arrangement we planned without even seeing that it is Purnima. So on the Purnima day, we are going to Kadam. Kadam is in Nandagram, the most important place, where Rupa Goswami used to sit and write verses, where sometimes he used to write about the separation of Radha and Krishna. At that time, from the leaves of Kadam used to dry up and fall down. And sometimes is to write the union of Radha and Krishna. At that time, there will be new leaves which is to be sprouted. So the love of Rupa Goswami for Radha and Krishna is so much that he goes on writing verses. Just see, he's now comparing, in this shloka is comparing the karmis, the jnanis, the yogis, the bhaktas. Let us see. Karmibhya parito hare. Can chant, I'll chant slowly and slowly you can also chant. Karmibhya parito hare priyataya vyaktiryayur jnaninas. So more than karmi is a jnani. At least he knows the difference between the body and the soul. And he tries to work on that only, to understand the difference between body and soul. So sometimes he tries to give difficulty to the body, tries to do a lot of austerity. In this way, he wants to understand the difference. That means he wants to get rid of all the bodily comforts, bodily desires, sense gratification. That is why more than a karmi, who is into sense gratification is a jnani. Karmibhya parito hare priyataya vyaktim yayurjnaninas. Okay, next is Tebhyo Jnana Vimukta Bhakta Premai Kanishthas Tatha. Tebhyo Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Parataya. Now we're going to see. Somebody can read? Yeah, there's light now. Yeah. Tebhyo Jnana Vimukta
Bhakti Paramaha Mataji.
Parama Premai
Kanishthasthaha.
Kanishthasthatah. So what has been told?
Tebhyasthaha.
No, next line. You just say the next line. So out of those who are known as jnanis, one who is practically liberated By virtue of his knowledge, he takes up devotional service. And that means out of the Gyanis, Tebhya Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Paramaha. That means he has understood. Out of those Gyanis, Bhaunam, Janmanam, Ante, Jnanavan, Man, Prapatate, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Samatma, Sudurlabha. So he has understood now. Out of many Gyanis, Bhakti Paramaha. Bhakti is Parama. Other all things are only secondary. Even if I try to give difficulty to my body, that is not going to give me perfection of life. So Bhakti Parama. Bhakti is Parama. Bhakti Parama. Premai Kanishthas Tatah. And however, one who has eventually attained prema, pure love, is superior to him. Now, premai kanishthas tata. What is the meaning of premai kanishthas tata? He has developed now prema, love. Bhakti is service, but that bhakti starts from sadhana to bhava, bhava to prema. So, out of many jnanis, few have developed bhakti. And topmost of them are those ones who have attained prema. Then read the next line. Tebhyasta Pashupala Pankaja Drushas Tyabhyopi Saradhika. Tebhya. Now again comparison is going on. See, the comparison is going on. Among those who have developed prema, better than them are those who are Pashupala Pankaja Drushas. Pashupala Pankaja Drushas. Pashupala, who is that? Who is having Pankaja? Pankaja means who is compared to a lotus. Pankaja. Lotus is born in Kichad, isn't it? That is why Panka means in a muddy place. Muddy, watery place. Kichad, you can say. Ja means born. So one who is compared with lotus, Pashupala, he is a cowherd boy. And those gopis, Pashupala Pankaja Drushaha, those gopis were always dependent on Krishna. They are better than all the above ones. Okay? And then Tebhyastha, again now. Again the comparison is going on. Tebhyastha. Tebhyastha Pashupala Pankaja Drushas. Again, Tabhyopi. Tabhyopi, more than them is who? Tabhyopi sa Radhika. Among all those gopis, Radhika is the best, is the topmost. Radha, Radhika. Radha is, when we address Srimati Radharani, we can say Radha. When Krishna addresses Srimati Radharani, he addresses as Radhika. So Radhika. So among all the gopis, Radhika is the topmost. Preshtha Tadvadiyam Tadiya Sarasi Tam Nashrayet Kakurtihi. Okay. Now, Preshtha. She is very dear to Krishna. Similarly, Tadiya Sarasi, her lake. Tadiya means her. Tadiya Vastu, Krishna's Vastu, her lake. So her lake, Radha Kund, is very dear to Srimati Radharani, and it is very dear to Krishna. Tam naha ashrayetaha ka krutihi. So krutihi means most fortunate people. Will they not like to reside near Radha Kund? That has been given. You see how it started with. It started with Karmi Bhyaparito Hare Priyataya Vyaktir Yayurudyanina Tebhyo Jnana Vimukta Bhakti Parama Premaikanisthastata Tebhyasta Pashupala Pankaja Drushas Tabhyopi Saradhika. प्रेष्ठा तत्पदीयं तदीय सरसी ताम नाशये काकृति. So I hope you have understood the comparison. First line speaks about the comparison between the karmi and the jnani. The second line speaks about the comparison in the topmost of the jnanis, that is who have attained the bhakti, and the one who have attained the prema. Then among all those premis, at the topmost is gopis, and among all them is Srimati Radharani, and equivalent to her is her bathing place, that is
Radha Kundo.
Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. Okay, Gadi Prabhu, please read.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. कर्मिभ्य परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययुर्ज्ञानिना तेभ्यो ज्ञान विमुक्त भक्ति परमा प्रेमैकनिष्ठास्ततः तेभ्यस्त पशुपाल पंकज दृश्यस्ताभ्योऽपि साराधिका श्रेष्ठा तद्वदीयं तदीय सरसीतां नाश्रयेत कृति.
Very good, wonderful. Dayasagar Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna. Karmibhya karito hare kriyataya yaktim yayurgyaninas tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premaika nishtas tataham tebhyasta deshupala pankaja drishtas
Pashupala Pankaja Drishas. Pashupala Pankaja Drishas.
Pashupala pankaja drishtas
Drishas.
Drishas
Thabyo
Tabhyo api saradhika Prishta Tadvadiyam Tadiya Sarasitam Nashrayet Kakriti.
Very good. Hans Rupi Prabhu, please read. Then Jumur will read.
हरे कृष्ण. कर्मीभ्य परितो हरे प्रिय तपा व्यक्तिं ज्ञानिना देवभ्यो ज्ञानि विमुक्ता भक्ति परमा प्रेमे कनिष्ठतः तेभ्यस्त पशुपाल पंकज रस अभ्योऽपि सराधिका पृष्ठा त्वं यं करिय सरस्तं
Tadvadiyam. Prishta Tadvadiyam.
पृष्ठा तद्यं तदीय सरसीतां
Prishta Tadvadiyam.
पृष्ठां तद्यं
Tadvadiyam.
तद्यं
Tadvadiyam.
तद्वयं
Tadvadiyam.
तद्वद्यं
Tadvadiyam.
तद्वद्यं तदीय सरसीतां नाश्रेत कृति.
Okay, before Jumur, 1 minute. Neeraj Prabhu, please chant.
राधे माता जी. हरे कृष्ण, दंडवत प्रणाम. कर्मेभ्य परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्ति ययुर्ज्ञानिना स्थेभ्यो ज्ञान विमुक्त्य भक्ति परमा प्रेमैक निष्ठास्ततः तेभ्यस्त पशुपालन पंकज दृष्टस्त्याभ्योऽस्ति पशुपालन पंकज दृश्य पशुपाल पंकज थैंक यू पशुपाल पंकज दृश्य ताभ्य अपि साराधिका प्रेष्ठा तद्वद्यं तदीय सरसीतां प्रेष्ठा तद्वद्यं प्रेष्ठा त्वद्वदीयं तदीया सरसी तद्वदीयं प्रेष्ठा त्वद्वदीयं तदीय सरसी तां न आश्रयेत Katkrati.
Tam nashayat kakritihi. Tam nashayat.
Tamnashrayet kakrati.
Improvement.
This is tam or tam? Because I am
That
having
is
the
tam.
Hindi book in front of me. It is written as tam in Devanagari.
Tam.
So, tam.
Tam.
Okay. Fair enough. Thanks. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Jumur chant.
कर्मिभ्यः परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययुर्ज्ञानिनास् तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्तभक्ति परमप्रेम कनिष्ठास्ततः तेभ्यस्तः पशुपालपङ्कजदृशस्तभ्योऽपि सराधिका प्रेष्ठा तत्त्वदीयं तदीयसरसीतां नाशयेत् कः कृति.
Practice more. Okay. Start with the purport. Kamalakshi Mataji, start the purport directly.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai. At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of gaining material profits by working are called karmis or fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described as the Vishnu Purana 6.7.61. Vishnu Sakti Paraprokta Ketra Natya Tada Para Avidya Karma Samchnaya Pritya Sakti Isyate. Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into three categories, namely the spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. The material energy is considered to be the third class energy, Tritya Sakti. Those living beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hogs is working very hard simply for sense gratification. However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly attracted to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly according to Vedic injunction are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9.21. Shine Punya Martya Loham Visanti. After exerting the results of their so-called pious activities, they again return to the earth, which is called Martya Loka, the place of death. Although such persons may be elevated to the heavenly planets by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to the planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted.
Okay, yes, sir. So there are karmis who are performing a lot of activities for sense gratification. Among them, there are some who are performing pious activities, but then if the earthly planet is not enough to give results, they will be elevated to upper planetary systems. After that, Shine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. Okay, Vandana Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna. This is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we may find businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialistic. Among the karmis or some vikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge, those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary system. Such karmis are superior to vikarmis, for they are faithful to the directions of the Vedas and are certainly dear to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapaddante tam bhajam aham. In whatever way, tam tatheva bhajam aham. In whatever way, bhajamyaham. In whatever way one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfills the desires of all karmis and jnanis. Not to speak of bhaktas, although karmis are sometime elevated to planetary system as long as they remain attached to fruitive activities. They must accept new material bodies after death. If one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary system, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standard of material happiness. On the other hand, those who are engaged in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animals, trees, and plants. Those, thus, those whose fruitive act, Thus, those fruitive actors who do not care for the Vedic directions, Vikarmis, are not appreciated by learned saintly person. As should
Okay,
as
1 minute. So here about the karmis are being given. There are karmis who follow the Vedic rituals, Vedic philosophy or Vedic literatures. They are known as sakarma or sakarmi. There are vikarmis who don't follow the Vedic injunctions. But Srila Prabhupada in one of the purport says both sakarmi vikarmi are actually vikarmis only because they are not doing any akarma. So now here there's a verse nicely put by in Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a verse put Nunam pramattaha purte vikarma. Nunam pramatta. Those who are mad, pramatta means those who are mad people, they perform vikarma. They don't follow Vedic injunctions. Yet indriha pitaya apnoti. For them, everything is sense gratification. They just want to enjoy the senses. Nasadhu manye. Nasadhu manye. Yatatmanoyam. They are not interested. The sadhus are not interested in such type of work. Because what is happening because of such type of work? Asannapi kleshaha asadeha. It's only going to give difficulties to the body. They don't understand. First is they don't understand that such a type of activities are only going to give misery to the whole body. Sadhu manye. So materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man. Sadhu manye. Those who are intelligent people, they don't like these activities, vikarmas. Both sakarma, vikarma. Srila Prabhupada says they are vikarma only. Whether you do your duties according to the Vedic injunctions, but what is the use of such duties if it is not having Krishna consciousness? If it is devoid of Krishna consciousness, even such type of duties are also known as vikarma only. Okay. Sudha Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Materialists from their reading. Materialists who work hard.
Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man. For as a result of such activities, one gets a material body which is full of misery. The purpose of human life is to get out of the threefold miserable conditions which are concomitant with material existence. Unfortunately, fruitive workers are mad to earn money and acquire temporary material comforts by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower species of life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. They do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend the major portion acquiring money for sense gratification. Ultimately, such activities end in death. Materialists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants, or trees. Thus, all their activities simply defeat the purpose of life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on the platform of ignorance, thinking that they are getting material benefits in the shape of skyscraper buildings, big cars, honorable positions, and so on. The materialists do not know that in the next life they will be degraded and that all their activities simply serve as parabhava, their defeat. This is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5. Parabhavas stavad abodh jata.
So now here, not only they are born in as ignorant, ignorant here refers to in the mode of ignorance, but they are ignorant. There is a lot of difference between mode of ignorance and ignorant. A person in mode of goodness also can be ignorant. Ignorant means not aware. Agyani. Ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. There is a lot of chance for the person in mode of goodness to come out of this ignorance. When you are saying ignorance, that means from the agyanta. One is agyani. But agyani is also known as ignorance only. So in English, if you read, you'll be confused. Sometimes mode of passion is also in ignorance. He's not aware. Simple. Okay. Neeraj Prabhu, read from here.
Yes, Mataji.
One
The
should
materialists do not know that in the next life.
Which one? Next
One
paragraph.
should,
now.
one should therefore,
One should therefore, okay. One should therefore be eager to understand the science of the soul, Atma Tattva. Unless one comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, by which one understands that the soul and not the body is oneself, one remains on the platform of ignorance. Out of thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses, one may come to the platform of knowledge and understand higher values of life. Such a person is called a Jnani. The Jnani knows the fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of body to another. As indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam by the term Sharir Bandha, bound to bodily existence, as long as one maintains any conception of sense enjoyment, his mind will be absorbed in karma, fruitive activity, and this will oblige him to transmigrate from one body to another.
Okay.
Thus, a
So
Jnani
what is causing him to transmigrate from one body to another? His ignorance. Okay. From here, Vaishnava Prabhu, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thus, a Jnani is considered superior to a Karmi because he at least refrains from the blind activities of sense enjoyment. This is the verdict of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, although a Jnani may be liberated from the ignorance of the Karmis, unless he comes to the platform of devotion service, he is still considered to be in ignorance, avidya. Although one may be accepted as a Jnani or one advanced in knowledge, his knowledge is considered impure because he has no information of devotion service and thus neglects the direct worship of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Continue.
Continue.
When a Jnani takes to devotion service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary Jnani. Such an advanced person is described as Gyan Vimukta Bhakti Parma. How a Jnani takes to devotional service is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, wherein Krishna says, Vahunam janmanamante jnanvan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlava. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Actually, a person is wise when he surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, but such a Mahatma, great soul is very rare. Hare Krishna.
Very rare. So here, now Jnanis. Among the Jnanis also, those who have taken up devotional service, they are the best among the Jnanis. But such a soul is also very rare. Okay, Hansru Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. After taking to devotional service under the regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of spontaneous love of Godhead, following in the footsteps of great devotees like Narada and
Raganuga Bhakti. They are known as Raganuga Bhaktas. Spontaneous love.
Narada and Sanaka and Sanatana.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. The devotees who have developed love of Godhead are certainly in an exalted position. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna. Nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, the gopis became more dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that in one sense they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather than Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted, and out of all these exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feeling.
So very difficult to
continue?
understand Srimati Radharani because sometimes she has manabhava. Sometimes she expresses anger. But all the time she's thinking of serving Krishna. So that is, and to add her manabhava, she has a wonderful Sakhi, that is Lalita Sakhi. To add her manabhava. She is known as leftist gopi, leftist bhava. Leftist means Vama bhava. But to understand her mood is very difficult to understand Srimati Radharani's mood. That is why Krishna takes the position of her mood and appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dayasagar Prabhu, please read from here.
In this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna, and that her Kunda lake, Sri Radha Kunda, is the most exalted place. This is verified in a quotation from Lagu Bhagavatamrita, Uttarakanda 45, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yatarada Priya Vishnos Tata Kundam Priyam Tata Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnor Atyantavalabham.
Yes.
Just as Srimati Radharani is dear to the Supreme Lord Krishna, Vishnu, so her bathing place, Radhakunda, is equally dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radhakunda and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of Upadeshamrita.
Okay. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopaishu Sevaika Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. This is the verse which every day you should chant. Especially when you go to Radha Kund, you should chant this verse. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopaishu Sevaika Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Jumur, you will be chanting this verse in Radha Kund. Even if I forget also, you remind me, this verse has to be chanted. So memorize this verse, Radha Kund, Sham Kund, which we'll be doing on Friday. So you should chant this verse there. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu. As much as Radharani is dear to Vishnu, that is Krishna, Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha. That much Kundam, Radha Kund is very dear to Krishna. Whoever takes bath in Radha Kund becomes very dear to Krishna. Whoever takes bath in Sham Kund becomes very dear to Srimati Radharani. That is why Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they are more interested in Sham Kund rather than Radha Kund to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Sarva Gopaishu Sevaika. Among all the gopis who are serving Krishna, Vishnu or Atyanta Vallabha. Rani is the dearmost. Okay, last verse. Is it last or is it the beginning? In spiritual knowledge, there is nothing like last. It is always the beginning, because there is no end to the description of the love of Radha and Krishna and of the love of the devotees to Krishna. Rupa Goswami's love for Krishna is not just in these 11 verses. It goes on, goes on. Anyhow, we are going to do now Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I don't know what misfortune, whatever you are having. Again, I only have to teach you Bhakti Rasamrita.
Haribol.
You can be behind you. Chant these words. Chant this. Krishnasyochai pralayavasati preyasibhyopi radha kundam chasya munibiribitasta tadrugeva vidhai yat preshtherappya sulabham kim punarbhakti bhajam tad pramedam sakrudapi asat. What happens when I see and chant? I forget. Tad pramedam sakrudapi sara snatura vishkaroti. I cannot read like this. Once by heart. Okay, anyhow, we'll try out. Krishnasyochai pranayavasati preyasibhyopi radha kundam chasya munibiribitastadrugeva vidhai yat preshtherappya sulabham kim punarbhakti bhajam tat pramedam sakrudapi asa natura vishkaroti. Again slowly now. Krishnasyochai pranayavasati. Krishnasyochai pranayavasati preyasibhyopi radha. So pranayavasati means out of many lovable gopis. Many lovable gopis. Out of many lovable gopis. Okay. Krishnasyochai pranayavasati. Pranayavasati means of all the objects of love of Krishna and out of all the gopis. Krishnasyochai pranayavasati preyasibhyopi radha. Preyasibhyo. Api. Api means more than everyone. Preyasibhya. Among everyone is Srimati Radharani. Radha. Kundam chasya muni biribitas kundam cha asyaha. Har kunda. Muni bhi read that words. Muni bhi abitaha. What is that word? Abitaha. Abita means the great sadhus. They just read that. I'm not able to see the words. Kundam chasya muni bhiribatas tadrugeva vidhai. Vidhai means description given by the munis in all the respects. So the great sages are also describing her kunda. Yat preshthai. Preshthai means one who is most advanced. Yat preshthai api alam asulabham. Very difficult to obtain. Asulabham. Very difficult to obtain. Yat preshthai apyalam asulabham kim punar bhakti bhajam. Kim punha bhakti bhajam. Person is engaged in devotional service, but this is also very difficult to attain. That means Radha Kund is very difficult to attain even by great sages. Great sages are describing about Radha Kund. They want to stay near Radha Kund, but it's not so easy to stay near Radha Kund. Very difficult. Sulabham. It's not so easy. Bhakti bhajam, even to the persons who are engaged in devotional service, this is very, very difficult. Then tat pramedam sakruda pisara. Sakruda means once, at least once. Prema idam. This prema, this love for Krishna, sakruda api saraha tam nashrayat What is the last word? Snatur dushkaroti. Again, to take bath in Radhakund, that is also very, very difficult. Snatura vishkaroti. So that is also given. Tat premedam sakrutapisara. Snatura vishkaroti. To take bath, everybody is hankering. Even the great sages are hankering. The devotees are also hankering to take bath in Radhakund. If at least one time, simply once, that has been given, simply once. That once is sakruta. Sakruta means at least one time. If a person gets the bath in Radhakund, or if one simply baths once within these holy waters, once pure love of Krishna is aroused, natura vishkaroti. Just by taking, if a person is not having that love for Krishna, but just by taking bath in Radhakund, his love for Krishna is aroused. So the sadhakas, what they do Govardhan Parikrama, they go and take bath in Radhakund, Shamkund, so that one's love for Krishna, Radha and Krishna arouses. Because that is not an ordinary water. That is the nectar of love of Radha and Krishna. It's a nectar actually. It's actually the tears which flows from the eyes of Radharani and makes the kunda. The flow of tears from the eyes of Krishna makes Shamkund in the eternal world. And they manifest in this Bhauma Leela. Radhakund, Shamkund, that has been given. So again we'll chant this verse and then Neeraj Prabhu will chant. Then Gadi Prabhu will chant this verse. Priya Mataji, Krishna Priya Mataji will chant. Okay. Vaishnav Gaur Prabhu will chant. These verses many can chant. Krishnasyo chai pranayavasati preyasebhyo piradha kundam chasya munibhiribitastadrugeva vidhai yat preshthayarapta sulabham kim punarbhakti bhajam tat pramedam sakrutapi sarat snatura vishkaroti. Okay, Neeraj Prabhu, start. Slowly.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Krishnasya uchya pranaya vasati preyasibhya apiradha kundalam cha asya kundam cha asya munibhi abhitatratrak eva vyadhayi.
Munibhi. Oh, you have to chant it together.
Okay. Krishnasya uchya pranaya vasati
preyasibhyo piradha
kundam chasya munibhirabitas.
Munibhirabitas. You have to chant together. Munibhirabitas.
Munibhiraktasya tradek vyadhayi.
Munibhirabitas. Munibhirabitas. How am I chanting? Just say Munibhirabitas.
Munibhirabitas.
Bhi, I did not say. Munibhirabitas.
Munibhirabitas. Okay. Munibhirabitas.
Again, you are saying Munibhi. Munibhirabitas. Munibhirabitas.
Munibhirabitas.
छोटी एक ही मात्रा है प्रभु जी, छोटी की मात्रा है, बड़ी
मुनिभिर
ये अपना प्रॉब्लम है। ये
मुनिभिर भितस्य
Munibhirabitas. She has got it. Okay. Munibhirabitas tadrugeva vedhayi.
एक मिनट मुनिभीर भितस्त्र
वीर नहीं है,
मुनिभिर
नहीं है, मुनिभिर
भितस्य मुनिभिर्वितस्य तदाग्रे व्यधायि यश ठे
प्रेष्ठे
यत् पृष्ठे अपि अलम् सुलभम किं पुनः भक्ति भाजाम.
Among the exhausted devotees, Preshthai means the most advanced devotees. Even they find it very difficult to stay in Radha Kund.
Hari Hari.
Tat
Pramedam sakradapi snatur
Tadrugeva Vidhai.
sarar snatur avishkaroti.
Snatur Vishkaroti. Tadur Vidhai is the another verse. Yeah. Okay.
Hari Hari.
Okay. Dayasagar Prabhu, you chant.
Krishnasya chai pranaya vyasati preyasibhyo pirada kundam chasyam munir abhitasta
Muni Bhirabitas.
Kundam chasyam munibhirabitas.
Abitas don't say. You just join the two words. Muni Bhir Abitas. You don't have to say. Muni Bhirabitas.
Munibhirabitas. Munibhirabitas.
Yes. Tadrukeva
vyadai yat preshtair apalam asupam kim punar bhakti bhajam tat pramedam sakritapi sarasna snatur avishkaroti.
Now Krishna's yochai pranayavasati. So pranayavasati means lovable object. Krishna's uchai means highly lovable object. And see one word. Krishna's yochai pranayavasati preyasibhyo api. Preyasibhyo means out of the loving gopis, Radha is the topmost. First line. Okay. Gadi Prabhu chant.
Krishna Mataji.
Krishna
chai pranaya vasati preyasi bhi api radha kundam chasya munabhir bhita stat. Kundam chasya munibhir bhita stat dragdeva vedhai.
Very good.
Preshteryapalam asulabham kim punarabhakti bhaja tat premedam sakrudapi sara snatura vishkaroti.
Kundam chasya munibhirabitas abhitas. Munibhir abhitas. So that is why we say munibhirabitas. Abhitas. Abhitas means in all respects. They are also describing in all respects. Munibhi. Kundam chasya. Asya means hers. Her kunda is described in all respects. Abhitaha. Munibhi, that is all the munis are describing. How they are describing, what they are describing. Okay. Krishna Priya Mataji, chant this verse. Third line they are describing. So you read the whole thing.
Krishnasyochai pranayavasati preyasibhyopi radha kundam chasya munibhirabi tastyadgeva vyadhayi
Tadrugeva vidhayi
vyadhayi yat preshterlapya masulabham kin punarbhakti bhajam tat prema medam sakrudapi sarasnatu ravishkarote.
Tat
premedam sakrudapi sarasnatu ravishkarote.
What are the munis describing? Munibhir abhitas. What they are describing? That yat preshthair apyala sulabham. Yat preshthair apya. Presthai means what? What's the meaning of preshthai? Yat preshthai. Apyala sulabham. Preshthai means even the advanced devotees. They also cannot go and stay. That's very difficult. Even for them also it is difficult. We say, हम तो बस व्रजवास करेंगे. Not so easy. Not so easy to get vrajvas. What we go and take is the fragrance and we come back. That much is enough for us. That fragrance to digest is also very difficult. So the yatra is nothing but go and take some fragrance and come back chupchap. Because we are just sadhakas. Yat preshthai apyalam asulabham. Apyalam asulabham. Asulabham, not so easy. Kim punar bhakti bhajam. That is home of Krishna. Home of Krishna can be entered only when the family members of Krishna allow us, isn't it? So without the permission of the gopis of Vrindavan, without the permission of the most lovable objects of Krishna, very difficult to enter the home of Krishna. Yat preshthai apyalam asulabham kim punar bhakti bhajam tat premedam sakrudapi sara snatura vishkaroti. And more difficult is what? To take bath in Radhakund Shamba. When you say there are many who go and take bath, many will go and take bath. But many don't, only few understand that that water is not just ordinary water. It's not so easy. Like many chant Harinam Sankirtan. But how many of them know the Ghuya Tattva of Harinam Sankirtan? So here, many go to Vrindavan. You see, Delhi, whenever they have holidays, they just come to Vrindavan. Whether in Bombay also, if they get holidays, they just go to Vrindavan. But how many of them really enter Vrindavan? There's a difference. Going to Vrindavan, entering the mood of Vrindavan. But only by the mercy of Radha and Krishna, it can happen. Only by the mercy of the gopis of Vrindavan, it can happen. Brajavasis. Okay. Only when Brajavasis give us the kripa, we can enter Vrindavan. We are entering Vrindavan means understanding the mood of Radha and Krishna with the eyes of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Only actually Srila Prabhupada once gave a class. Only Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami can reside in Vrindavan. All the Brajavasis got angry there. So that is why they outcasted ISKCON temple. But Prabhupada said it's right. Only Rupa and Sanatan have the right to stay in Vrindavan. Those who are into sense gratification, they have no right to stay in Vrindavan. They are actually not staying in Vrindavan. They are staying in so-called one of the city. But actually Vrindavan is not one of the city. Vrindavan is the extension of Brajadham, Goloka Brajadham. Not that everybody understands that. There are people who are selling egg there. Do you think they are Brajavasis? As I Prabhupada clearly said, there are people who are so-called Goswamis of the temple, but into sense gratification. Are they staying in Vrindavan? There's only Rupa Sanatan, they can stay in Vrindavan. Shad Goswamis can stay in Vrindavan. Others all, they've got the fortune, but not understanding the fortune. Okay, Vaishnava Gaur Prabhu, can you read this verse? And then Hansrupi Prabhu verse, then Jhumur verse. Vaishnava Gaur Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माधे डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया कृष्णस्य चे प्रणयवस्ति प्रेयसीभ्योऽपि राधा कुण्डं चास्या मुनिभिर्वितस्सद् तदग्रेव तद्रेग्येव भयधायि यत् पृष्ठेरप्यलं सुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजाम् tat premedam skridapi sara sanatura vishkaroti.
Sanatula nahi, snatula.
Sanatura avishkaroti.
That is why you join that. Snatura vishkaroti. Snatura.
Natura vishkaroti.
Okay, next.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Krishnayascha pranaya vasate preyasebhyo pirada kundam chasya munibhir vitastagre vyayati
Tadrugeva. Tadrugeva.
tadrgeva vyadi
Vyadhayi.
vyadhai yat preshta piyalam asulabam kim punar bhakti bhajam तत्प्रेमदिं
Bhajam.
सुखदि
Bhajam.
पुनर्भक्ति भाजाम तत्प्रेमदम सुखदि नाथ विराश करोति.
I'll take you to Morakutir. You know Morakutir, what happens there? Krishna dances like peacock to pacify the man of Radharani. There is another Leela there. When all the Gopas are very hungry at that time, Krishna throws many laddus. All are taking the laddus. So you should go and take one laddu. Why? So that you can say bhajam. Bhajam. If you keep laddu in the mouth, no, it will open. Bhajam. Bhajam nahi, bhajam. So go to Morakutir and take laddus and chant verses properly. Okay. Jumur, chant.
कृष्णस्योच्चै प्रणयवसति प्रेयसीभ्योऽपि राधा कुण्डं चास्या मुनिभिर्वितस्ता कुण्डं चास्या मुनिभिरवितस्तदृगाव्यधायि
Tadrugeva. Tadrugeva.
कुण्डं चास्या मुनिभिर्वितस्तदृगेव व्यधायि यत्रैष्ठरप्यस्लं सुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजां तत्प्रेमेदं सकृदपि सरस्नातुराविष्करोति
Yatreshterapyalam sulabham apyalam. Apyalam.
यत्रैष्ठरप्यलं सुलभं
Okay. Gadi Prabhu, read the translation and the purport. Whole purport you only read. Gadi Prabhu sleeping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the many objects of favored delight and of all the lovable damsels of Brajabhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, a divine Kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kunda is very rarely attained, even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Why is Radha Kund so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani.
What a simple answer, Jesse.
Yes. Who is the most beloved object of Sri Krishna? Among all the gopis, she is the most beloved. Similarly, her lake, Sri Radha Kunda, is also described by great sages as a lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radharani herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radha Kunda and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Radha Kunda is very rarely attained, even by great personalities, fully engaged in devotional service, not to speak of ordinary devotee who are only engaged in the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis if he once takes bath in Radha Kunda. The Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kunda, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is the most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kunda is the most select place for those interested in advancing the devotional service in the wake of the lady friends, Sakhis, and confidential servants, servicing maids, Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Goloka Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual bodies, Siddha Deha, should live at Radhakund, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in her service. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narada, Shaunaka do not get an opportunity to come to Radhakund to take their baths. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one gets opportunity to come to Radhakund and bath even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna, exactly as Gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radhakund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material consumptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant Gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of Radha Kund. Conclusion is that to live on the banks of Radha Kund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. It is a difficult position to attain even for great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radha Kund. By serving Radha Kund, one can get an opportunity to become assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So here we'll stop. Practice nicely. After 2 weeks, your exam will be there, the orals. And in orals, whatever portion is there, and we'll have written test. From what is 14th December day? What's the day?
Wednesday, Mataji.
Wednesday, 14th. 16th onwards, we'll start nectar of, or we'll give 16th also, we'll give a break. We can do from 16th, not a problem, or we'll do 16th. What is the next test? 19th? 19th is Monday.
19th is Monday.
Okay, from 19th, we'll have nectar of devotion. So 17th, 18th, your written examination, as well as the rollers, 17th, 18th. We'll finish off with this, and then we will have 19th onwards, nectar of devotion. Okay. So we are going to Uchagaon. You know, Uchagaon is a place of Lalita Sakti.
Mataji, we have to
Mataji.
memorize all the slokas.
Only 4 shlokas are there.
How many shlokas? 4.
First 4
First
are there in portion.
I can take last 4 also.
Yes, yes. सारे फेल हो जाएंगे.
Failure in the attempt is actually a success.
Yes, yes.
But
last four के तो words ही इतने लंबे लंबे हैं. अभी
So
तो
we'll do last 4.
वाचो वेगम से क्रोध वेगम ही हो रहा है अभी.
अच्छा नैनो, will you chant वाचो वेगम? कुटी.
मन्मनाभव मद्दन्तु मध्याजी मां नमस्कुरु नामृति सत्यं ते जानीतोऽस्मि.
वाचो वेगम. Chant वाचो वेगम.
वाचो वेगम बोल. वाचो वेगम मस्तकृते विधा वेगम पकरो वेगम एतान् वेगान्योवस एतधीर सर्वामपि मां पृथिवीजस्य.
So last 4 verses for your portion. Vacho Vegam, she has already told. Chotubuti.
Mataji, she only can recite. बाकी 4 last नहीं कर सकते.
प्रजल पुण्यमग्रहः संजस्तेयं च सद्धे भक्ति प्रियसति.
Babuti. Next. She was attending actually the class.
Third one, she doesn't know it.
Okay.
Pariksha
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, 17, 19 you said nectar of devotion will start. 17, 18th, what was the
17th will be the orals, first 4, and senior devotees like Vaishnav Gaurav. Last. Yeah. First 4 will be the portion, and the 18th will be the written test.
Okay.
Bindu Mataji लेंगी ना test.
Correction, Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji, this open book, we have to write only one or this.
At all, don't ask me. Your examiner, Bindu Mataji, will tell.
Okay.
See, my
Mataji,
work
you
is
are traveling to
easy.
Vrindavan. So, can I make a request?
Yes, Prabhuji. Where are you?
Can you record some nice, locations pe jaake some nice pastimes of the Lord and share it on the group? It will really, enable us to, take.
I will add you all in Tuesday Narayani group. Okay. I'll add you.
Yes.
So there is a group. Last year batch students are also there. I think few of you are added. Those who are not added, please let me know. I'll add you in that. And then Jumur will put all the recordings where we are going.
That would be wonderful, Mataji.
But I should also know, na. I don't know. Mercy of Radharani is there, then I can discuss.
Hari.
Mataji बहुत ठंडी हो गई है उधर north में. Warm woolen clothes लेके जाइए.
बहुत सारे ले लिए. Gloves भी ले लिया है.
हाँ. Mask लेके जाइए. इधर मास्क नहीं पहना उधर पहनिए मास्क नहीं तो नाक ठंडा हो जाएगा.
But last last week some devotees visited from Nasik to Vrindavan. They said the climate was very pleasant. There was not much cold. They were saying this week they came, just returned.
Let us see if Aditya.
Days is not cold, but evenings and mornings are very cold.
Yeah, definitely.
Even Krishna felt very cold in Madan Mohan temple. There's a Leela when Krishna feels very cold after killing, after subduing Kaliya, and he becomes wet, a lot of cold. Then 12 Adityas, they give him heat. So it is Aditya. Let us see who can give us heat. Yeah. Vaishnav Vrinda ki